Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. So I've been trying to wait for the right weather to do a review about this car, which I hope you can already tell what it is by looking at the seats. So we will be talking about my 2015 Seat Cupra ST, and it's a 280 model. Which is my wife's daily driver. So as usual, what I'll be talking is the things that I like, the things that I don't like. I cannot give precise information in regards of ownership yet, long-term ownership, I should say, because I've owned this car for less than a year. But yes, so we will give you an overview of the interior of the car. I'll walk around outside, show you a few things, talk about the car, give you a bit more detail. Obviously, there's a lot of precise information that you can find online. But yes, things that I can talk about. Tax. So motor tax here in Ireland for this car, it's $390 compared to $710 on my STI. And both have the same engine size, but obviously the STI being before 2008, it's a different story. It's based on the engine size purely versus emissions on this one. Insurance, it's very similar for this car, given it always depends obviously on your driving history and your age, but yes, I'm over 30 and I've had over 5 years no claims history. So we're talking about 12 to 1300 a year. Fuel consumption, this is definitely better than an STI. I'll say this is almost double more. I mean, it's twice as more efficient as an STI, due to a lot of things that I'm going to cover in a moment. But yeah, it's a very dynamic car. When you want to drive it nicely and slow, you'll be quite economical. But when you want to drive it on its limits, or try to at least, you will see obviously the consumption getting lower. At the end of the day, this car has almost 300 horsepower, so you can't expect extremely high MPGs on these cars. So right away, you can see a clear distinction of the Cupra car, 300 kilometers an hour speedometer here, which is really cool. As you can see, it has slightly less than 60,000 kilometers, so not too bad. And today, as you can see, it's 18 degrees. Supposed to be nice, but unfortunately you're having a mix of rain and sun here. The steering wheel, as you can see, plenty of functionality here. Cupra logo, Bluetooth, and pretty much all the technology that is expected from a 2015 car. So you have the paddles, the paddle shifters here as well. You can utilize them, but this being a DST or automatic car, it will obviously shift. It will obviously shift as well on its own. But let's talk about features and cool things about it. There's a lot of things that you can do here. As you can see, I like the option here for the car. You click here, so you have Echo Trainer. I actually won't spend too much time here. I'm just going to move towards what I think it's more important for a Cupra. So yeah, this is really cool. I'm not going to show you every single thing because there's a lot of things here, but yeah, you can actually put this gauge here and you can customize it as you're driving around. But as you can see here, you can get the temperature, the oil temperature, coolant temperature as well. You get the G-force as you're driving, so it's really nice. I actually really like this. Yeah, so you probably can see here, but I prefer the way it was before, with the turbo pressure here, the G-force, and the temperature, the coolant temperature. But yeah, you can customize it as you want, which I think it's pretty cool. lap timer. That is really nice. I wasn't expecting that. So you can definitely do that if you go on a track day. I hope I can take it to the track soon. But yeah, plenty of things here. I was trying to spend some time here, but there's so much. So yeah, consumption you can view here. Let's look at more important stuff. Driving data. I really like that they actually focus to show the actual car, which is the one that I have. So yeah, as you can see here, it's saying still have about 510 kilometers with this tank. But yeah, I mean, it normally gets between 450 to 500 easily, and that's city driving, so that's really good. Yeah, Echo Trainer, as I said, I'm not going to spend too much time there. So yeah, vehicle status here. It does have tire, it monitors tire pressure as well, which is really cool, and you can actually restart it, reset it here once after you go to the petrol station, and you take care of it. The coolest thing, I should say, is actually the Cupra button. Okay, so you have the option to customize the individual one. It's customizable. Okay, but you have the Comfort, Sport, and Cupra, and once you put it on Cupra, the engine revs higher, the suspension gets stiffer, and you feel the car being more edgier, and the steering response as well. It's actually better, in my opinion. So it feels more engaging. But still, I would compare this to an STI. It's not as much because obviously it's more advanced, so there's a lot more assists here, but I like it, and I've driven a Golf R, and this feels more lively than a Golf R. That's my experience. Some may disagree. So yeah, Cupra, and then you have individual. You can adjust. Okay, so DCC, steering, engine, front differential, lock, climate control, ambient lighting. So a lot of things. Obviously, I like Cupra mode. I'm going to start the car so you can see it. But I'm also finalize just a review of the interior of the car, and then we're going to go for a drive, so you can actually see and hear the difference of the car in Cupra mode and Comfort mode. It's a bit windy, but just want to show you the interior of the car. These are the standard seats for the Cupra, though you get the bucket seats. I would like those instead, but obviously you got this option when you buy the car brand new, and that was not my case. So nothing completely different here. As I showed you, you got the paddle shifters here in the back. The SG, you got USB here. You also get in the glove compartment, in the glove box there. These seats, though they're not bucket seats, they are comfortable, and yet they hold you nicely. So showing you the interior, a little bit of storage space here in the back, plenty of space, and again, not a really tall person, but it does have a good space here, as a family car should. Isofix for those with kids, which is my case. Yeah, space here behind the seats. Car seat, as you can see, Isofix one. You can really put in the big ones if you need to. So cup holders, which is really cool, 2 of them here. That's really nice. And then you can fold the seats down completely. Okay, so you actually do. And climate control, so separate zone here as well. And I should mention that the speakers are quite nice as well, good quality for it being a Seat. So I want to show you the boot. A lot of space. This is a really big stroller, and yet you have some space here for grocery shopping. But without the stroller, you definitely have a lot of space for the usual needs of a family. So 12-volt plug here. You have this button to help you fold the seats down, which is really convenient. As you can see, you also have it on this side. really, really convenient. And you have the cover here, which is expected as well. So yeah, really, really nice, really spacious. I definitely prefer this having a kid than a hatch. It's a bit windy, and I'll try to speak as close as I can here for you to see. But yes, as you can see, it's a 2015 Cupra. Just want to show you the wheels, 19s, and you can see the Cupra logo on the brakes, on the brake calipers, which is nice. Black side mirrors. Okay, really like the car. I personally like the looks and what it delivers. So back as well, dual exhaust, and as I said before, you have this one is a 280. Okay, you have the 290, and then you also have the 300, which is available nowadays. And this is a front-wheel drive model, and you are now able to get an all-wheel drive model, which is even faster, especially from 0 to 60. But I have to say, being a front-wheel drive car, in Ireland, it pretty much meets all my needs. I don't think I actually need the all-wheel drive, but it would be fun, I'm sure. So I'll show you the engine bay, but as you can see, your front is a bit more aggressive than a standard Seat Leon. Yeah, so I'll show you the engine bay, but as you can probably expect with these modern cars, you don't, and this is funny because it's actually on the passenger side for you to open the bonnet. So for those who haven't seen this engine before, it's not too bad. You can still get some visibility into the car. Some of them nowadays are completely covered. Yeah, it's a TSI 2-liter turbo, very similar to the Golf R's engine and the Audi S3. Okay, so this one has 276 horsepower. Now that I have the car on and we're going to go for a drive, I wanted to show you the difference when you put it in Cupra mode. Hopefully you noticed the rev goes higher when it's on Cupra mode, and obviously you have it there on. I'm going to turn it off now and you will see it again. I'm going to put it back on comfort mode. So yeah, and the difference is clear when you're driving. As I said, it becomes more lively, and it is cool that you have this option. Otherwise, it's just one of those very modern cars that you don't actually feel a lot of the speed or the road, you know. So, car is on Cupra mode now. I'm gonna put it back on Cupra mode, and we're going to go for a drive. And I'll talk to you about things that I like and things that I don't like. So let's go for a little speed here. So, probably heard that, and I hope you have. Things that I like its performance. It's definitely not a slow car. So let's try again. Now, when you're trying to go fast on this car, when you really step on it, I'm gonna put it back on comfort mode. It's gonna get quieter. So when you're trying to go fast on it, especially coming from an all-wheel drive car like the STI, one thing that bothers me a little bit is that it struggles to put the power down. So that's a bit disappointing, and it makes some noises. It's slightly concerning noises when you see that it's trying to gain traction, fighting with the traction control. So it's a bit disappointing, but that's expected. It's a front-wheel drive car. Now it's on comfort mode. As you can see, probably here it's quieter, but still You can definitely see its speed building up in this car. Funny thing is, it seems faster. It seems faster than the STI, but it does not feel faster, if that makes sense. It's very easy. It's very easy to gain speed on these cars, and it's extremely comfortable. Like right now, I'm driving this on comfort mode, slow, slightly below 2,000 RPM. If somebody doesn't tell me, and if I don't see the Cupra logo here, I would imagine that I'm driving a standard Seat Leon. So that is actually a good thing, that this car is dynamic like that. You can put it on Cupra mode, have your fun, put it back on comfort, and drive it like you would on a regular basis. So I definitely like that. I'm gonna put it back on Cupra because we're going to get on the motorway here. So let's hear it. Good speed here, and yes, you can definitely get into a serious speed. And on the Autobahn, I have a friend who has the hatchback model. On the Autobahn, you can go in excess of 260 and 270 an hour in this car. Maintenance cost, being a Seat, maintenance cost is not extremely concerning. You know, you can take this car to most shops and they can take care of it just fine. You don't have very unique engine layout like you would in a Subaru STI. So that is definitely a plus. Parts, you can find them quite easily as well, because these cars are becoming more and more common, at least here in Ireland. So yeah, that is definitely another thing that I like. Something that I don't like, and you probably can relate, is the size of the wheels. I don't think, and who am I, right? You have the engineers who developed this car, and it achieved a sub 8-minute lap at the Nürburgring, and they believe that 19 inches is actually the way to go. I think it's too big. I don't think I would need something of this size. 18 maximum, but it is what it is, and you have to just live with it. But if I had a choice, I would have smaller tires and wheels. Obviously, the bigger the tires for a performance car, especially if you're talking about getting Michelin Pilot Sports, it's going to be expensive. So yeah, that is a bit of a negative thing to me anyway. If you like a little bit of attention, this car may disappoint you a little bit, because most people won't know what it is. So if you want more attention, maybe this car is not really something you may want, because especially if you debadge this car, a lot of people won't have a clue what it is. I mean, maybe a few, because of the dual exhaust and the little plastic diffuser there in the back. But yeah, so it can be too discreet, like a Golf R, I would say. So yeah. Now, another thing that I like, especially coming from an STI background, I really like the fuel consumption in this car. I guess it comes to all the technology behind it, and being a front-wheel drive car as well. But yeah, another thing that I like about it a lot, it ticks so many boxes for someone that likes cars, and obviously you have the needs to drive your family around, do a road trip here and there. Lots of space, and very practical car. So that's definitely a plus for those who are trying to find that balance between your passion for car and your needs. So this car is definitely a great balance. I don't get to drive it so often, because my wife daily drives it, but it handles quite well. You feel very confident with this car on the turns, and I guess it speaks for itself, because if you believe in performance of cars based on their Nürburgring laps, you will understand that this car delivering a sub 8 lap at that circuit, it's something quite remarkable for being in a station wagon. So that's definitely impressive for a car that it's not horribly expensive. It's affordable to a lot of people, especially if you buy it used. So yeah, performance, it's definitely impressive. As I said, I don't have anything to complain when it comes to electronic. It has a great sound system, in my opinion, compared to an STI. The STI sound system honestly sucks. The standard ones, it's very basic, very limited compared to this. I'm hoping I can get this car on the track in a few weeks, and then I'll be able to really tell how it compares against the STI at the track. Depending on how this performs at the track, I may actually take this one on my next trip to the ring, and I want to go back to the ring as soon as I can. If I could, I would go back again this year, but I have other trips planned. Hopefully you found this beneficial. There's a lot more I can talk about, but you're more than welcome to comment and ask questions. Is there anything specifically that you want me to do to show you here? Please let me know, and I will definitely be sharing my experience at the track next time I go. I hope you like this video. If you like, hit like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already so, and I'm hoping I'm being true to my first one, that I'm trying to keep things as natural as possible. I'm talking about basic things that relates to most of us, you know. Obviously this is not a supercar channel, and it's a channel focused on cars that most of us can afford, and or can one day afford, you know. I can work hard to actually achieve it. But yes, thanks for watching, and see you next time.